ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम अज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्तस्वामिनिति नामिनि। नमस्ते सारस्वती देवी गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देशतारिणे। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासादि गौरभक्तवृंद। हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। Okay. So Madhurya Kadambini, chapter 5, fifth hour of nectar, Ruci. So yesterday we discussed Nishtha, and it was quite clear that there are so many bad habits that we have, like being lazy, then rasasvada, which is having taste for material enjoyment, then pratipatti, spiritual indifference. We're indifferent towards spiritual practices, sadhana, and one more was important one. Mm, yeah, rasasvada, kashaya, sinful habits. Uh, so these are preventing us from practicing on Nishta, which is basically steadiness. Steadiness in bhakti, steadiness in elements which are favorable to bhakti, basically like humility, um, mm, yeah, humility, giving respect to others, friendliness, mercy. And both somebody in Nishta will have steadiness in bhakti as well as steadiness in elements favorable to bhakti as well. And the only way we can actually come to this platform of steadiness is the thing that Srila Prabhupada gave us as part of our morning program, which is basically chanting nice sounds and constant service of Srimad Bhagavatam and devotees. So if you are able to do this, then in spite, irrespective of how bad our anarthas are, etc., we will simply make progress. Nothing which can stop us. The problem is that we have to stick to following this morning program, and those who are having a challenge following morning program, again, answer to all solutions is quality association. So this is what we have learned so far. Now we're going to go into this beautiful. Now, actually, see, from now on, the transcendental aspects of bhakti, meaning some things that we will start experiencing, some things which are not uh, uh, experienced or incomparable with the material world. Meaning, now everything that we've heard so far is somewhat on the material platform, meaning we are struggling. Okay, we have sinful habits, this, that. Now, and we are always struggling to inspire ourselves, push ourselves. Now, the next, the remaining part of the book, right? So, which is actually 50% is over, I think. 50% of the book is over nearly, and the remaining 50% is what needs to actually motivate us, inspire us to actually put that effort and not get caught up with material things, with all these sinful habits and taste for material enjoyment. We need to develop taste for what we can experience if we make progress. Really, this section is first time when I read it, it was just like mind-boggling. I said, like, wow. I mean, this is it. There's nothing more worthy than this, right? So we should put that effort. That was my drive, when I read this book. So let's see. Hopefully, it'll. And that was the whole intention why I wanted to read the book, not to make it look formidable, more difficult to make progress. Absolutely, it's not. It's not difficult to make progress, um, provided we follow the process. Okay, so we're going to read about Ruci, fifth hour of nectar. When the golden coin of bhakti, now language changes. When the golden coin of bhakti, devotion, shining effulgently, see what will happen? Bhakti will shine effulgently. How? By the fire of steady practice. So when there is a steady practice, there is a fire which gets generated. Like all our anarthas, everything is burning. And what does that result in? Shining effulgence of bhakti. So bhakti actually starts to manifest. People can experience that a person actually has devotion. And by the fire of steady practice and propelled by its own energy, bhakti itself has its own energy because it's energy of Krishna. When this golden coin of bhakti becomes fixed in the devotee's heart, ruchi or taste for devotional activities appears. Now, this taste, um, we should understand, this taste is not selective taste. This taste is not, I like to do this, I don't like to do this for Krishna. That is affected by material conditioning. So it might look like ruchi, but it's not ruchi, which is why many devotees get confused whether they're actually on a higher platform or lower platform. This ruchi is being ready to do whatever Guru and Krishna says, whatever. It could be cleaning the toilet, to it could be going and preaching, to distributing books, to cooking, to anything, any devotional activity. We should have taste. When a person develops a taste for the activities of bhakti, such as hearing and chanting, which is vastly greater than attraction to anything else, that is called ruchi. Now we should understand one more thing. If there are many devotees who say, I have lot of taste for hearing chanting. Now, what hearing chanting do we have taste for? I like to hear leelas. Uh, I like to hear things which are not heavy, which are not. No, anything and everything in Krishna consciousness we should have ruchi to hear, right? And I like to hear kirtan, but I don't. I sleep during japa. This is not taste, okay? And this hearing and chanting, it's not that, oh, I'm very attached to hearing and chanting, but I don't like to do any service. No, if we have developed actual taste for hearing chanting, automatically taste for service, like I said, anything and everything for Krishna will has to manifest. And this taste for hearing chanting is more attractive than anything else, vastly greater than attraction to anything else. Unlike the previous stages, now look at this. Now we can start recognizing where we are. Unlike the previous stages, at the stage of Ruchi, constant performance, note the word constant, constant performance of hearing and chanting does not result in even the least fatigue. Oh, I had enough. I had enough of reading. I had enough of chanting. No. Now, this is what I was saying. Ruchi quickly produces a great attachment to activities of bhakti. Beat anything. Beat anything. This is similar to a Brahmana boy who, after diligently studying the scriptures daily and in time grasping the meaning, finds no difficulties at all in applying himself to study. See, this is very nice. Finds no difficulties in at all in applying himself to study. Meaning, when we are reading, when we are engaging in hearing, chanting, application of that is what? Taste for all activities of bhakti. And moreover, develops a pleasure in the task. So, this is Ruchi. Because of a defect in the liver, the ability to taste becomes affected and sugar becomes distasteful. Sugar, however, is also the medicine to cure the defect. So, jaundice. Understanding this, an afflicted person will take sugar daily, though it may be distasteful, and eventually he will develop a real taste for it as it cures his sickness. Similarly, the jiva's heart, which is contaminated by ignorance and other kleshas, becomes cured of its material disease by the medicine of hearing, chanting, and other devotional processes, which in the beginning may not be so tasteful and eventually develops a taste for the activities. So simply, ruchi means this taste. But we should understand that taste for hearing and chanting should be more than anything else. Mm. Like I said, if devotees have taste for service but not for hearing chanting, that is not real ruchi, right? The taste must be for hearing and chanting, must be vastly greater than attraction to anything else. Ruchi is of two types: that which depends on the excellence of elements and that which does not. Excellence of elements refers to an excellence relating to such things as the Lord's name, qualities, form. For instance, a person may only experience pleasure from kirtana if it is pleasing to the ear and artistically sung, or may only relish topics of the Lord if they are delivered skillfully with literary ornaments and qualities, or may only enjoy deity worship if all the impediments, place, and materials are of high standard. So this is where the ruchi, the taste, depends on the excellence of elements involved, like we discussed. This is just like a person with a weak appetite who, when notified of a meal, will ask what types of preparations there are and of what quality. So, in the first type of ruchi, a slight trace of impurity remains. So, in this, there is a slight taste of impurity. Now, it doesn't necessarily mean that we should offer less excellent things to the Lord. But if a sincere devotee is doing kirtana, but he's not at all, no raga, no tala, but he's sincere and he's pure. There is no impurity in his practice. But if we look at that and feel, okay, this is not great, or we don't experience pleasure from that kirtan, then there is little bit impurity. Therefore, if a person depends on the excellency of the material elements of kirtana to experience a spiritual taste, one should understand that this is evidence of impurity in his heart, because we are depending on the excellency of the material elements. All these are material elements, right? Like raga, thala, all these are material elements. So, Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur is saying, if we are depending on excellence of material elements of kirtana to experience a spiritual taste, then there is impurity in the heart. A person with the second type of ruchi will experience great pleasure wherever and whenever there's a performance of kirtana. It does not depend on an excellence of elements because he has actual depth in his taste. See, beautiful. If you have depth in our taste, then we will not be concerned about the raga and tala, but we will be concerned about the nama. We will not be concerned about the language and presentation. We will be concerned about the topic being discussed. One should understand that he has no trace of impurity in his heart. There's some discussions which keep happening saying that some devotees get used to hearing from only one type of person. That is because of impurity in the heart. Now, of course, you cannot force it. You cannot force saying that, no, 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 now you start hearing from 10 people. They might lose the taste. So we have to be very careful. When there's impurity in the heart, it's okay. The impurity will go. Impurity will go over a period of time, and then they will be open to hearing from everybody. Some people might be open to hearing from everybody from day one. Now, that is both good and bad, right? Because in the beginning stages, if you are hearing from everyone, then we don't know who is right, who is wrong, right? But this taste, I like to hear from this kind of person, but not from another kind of person, or another person is just a trace of impurity. Oh, friend, giving up the nectar of Krishna's names, why are you engaging yourself in pursuits of security and enjoyment? So hard to attain. See, just, uh, just where we stand. Giving up the nectar of Krishna's names. We have not experienced this because we have not come to the stage of Ruchi. When we experience the taste in Krishna's name, so Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur is saying, mind, oh friend, mind. Why are you engaging yourself in pursuits for security and enjoyment, isn't it? We are so worried about tomorrow. How can I make my life secure? How can we make our lives secure in this miserable material world? So why are you engaging yourself in pursuits for security and enjoyment? And it's so hard to attain. Giving up nectar of Krishna's names. So this Ruchi is that nectar. So he's answering, what can I say? I'm unfortunate, for I'm the lowest criminal. Not realizing the precious gem tied in my garment obtained by the mercy of the feet of my Guru, I have been wandering everywhere for a long time, and in that way, I've wasted my life. See, who said that our acharyas are not strong in their presentation? Huh? That we have to be soft in our presentation? See, it's such strong statements. Wasted my life. Prabhupada just goes one more step and says, rascals. That's all. I have been searching out a cracked covey, a spot of false happiness between the banks of the river of material engagements. And just poetic. Just we are just trying to find happiness in material engagements. Not practicing any yoga of bhakti. Have simply manifested lack of energy. So deceitful I am, such is my sense of taste, that I lick up acrid tasting, profane gossip like nectar, and have remained apathetic to hear the names, qualities, and pastimes of the Lord. What are we attracted to? Gossip, acrid tasting, acrid tasting, bad taste, acrid tasting, profane gossip, and I've remained apathetic to hear the name. I don't have any interest to hear the names, qualities, and pastimes of the Lord. How unfortunate I am. See, this is our mood of, literal uh, feeling detestful about our situation, feeling so bad that I'm in such a bad state. I don't have any taste. When I start to hear about the Lord, I comfortably fall asleep. And at any opportunity for vulgar discussion, I prick up my ears and become wide awake. What a what graphic description. In this way, I have contaminated the assembly of devotees and everything else. See, we come in the association of devotees and we talk vulgar discussions, meaning which is just not connected to bhakti. Old and bent as I am, what sinful act have I not performed simply for the satisfaction of my insatiable belly? I do not know what type of hell I'll have to suffer for all my activities. Just Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur is reflecting the state of our mind. In this way, the devotee will despair. He should despair over his previous state of consciousness with a taste of disgust. If this is not there, this disgust is not there, you feel disgustful about our situation. Many times I feel frightened, saying that, you know, if at all, if at all I'm not able to achieve perfection in this life, what will happen? Where will I go? What will I do? Fortunately, I've got the association. Got connected to Srila Prabhupada, got the association of his pure devotees, got the association of being able to hear from all these great acharyas. And if I waste this life, if I don't perfect this life, where will I be? What will I do? Scary. And I was feeling, wow, okay, if I fast forward myself, I look at all these great devotees, and look at them, Prabhupada's disciples, and such an exalted consciousness, such great qualities they have developed. And if I think, if I fast forward myself if I'm going to be alive another 20 years, where will I be? I mean, will I be even near any of them in terms of progress that I should have done? Not trying to compete with them, but following in their footsteps. I should also reach that stage, right? So feel feel frightened, sometimes disgusted with my state, internal state, right? Because if we don't feel this, then how are we going to make progress? We're comfortable in our whatever. I saying, okay, I'm doing bhakti. Okay, I'm happy. Yeah, okay, good. You're happy. But is it really their reason for happiness? Anyway, I don't want to become negative, but the thing is, we should look at all this and see that Ruci, the taste, nectar of Krishna's names, nectar of Krishna's qualities, all that. And then we're stuck with material attachments, false ego, la puja pratishtha, uh, so many things, so many things. Then in a remote place like a swan, he will begin reverently tasting and speaking the sweet topics about the Lord. See, when there is despair, when there is taste of disgust, Then what? There should be some action. He will reverently tasting. He will begin tasting and speaking the sweet topics about the Lord, the juice from the fruit of the desired tree, the great Upanishad, Srimad Bhagavatam. Simply again, this Ruci also is going to come by Srimad Bhagavatam. He will constantly converse with devotees to the exclusion of all topics other than Krishna, like a curious spectator, first standing, then sitting, finally entering in and with full attention. He will take refuge in the Lord's Dhamma and will fix himself purely in the Lord's service. Ignorant people will think he has gone crazy. This is what needs to be done. If you don't have Ruchi, this is what needs to be done. So clear, crystal clear. How to get over Anartha Nivritti, coming to Nishta, Srimad Bhagavatam. How to develop Ruchi, Srimad Bhagavatam. One second, Nakul Prabhu. He will constantly converse with the devotees. See, what do we talk when we meet devotees? Actually, I've seen we don't talk about Krishna. We talk about some useless stuff. We don't talk about Krishna because it's not top of our mind. It's not top of our mind. Curious spectator. Are we curious to know, to move ahead, to experience the inexperienceable, what we cannot experience? You will take refuge in the Lord's Dhamma. Of course, Lord's Dhamma doesn't mean we have to go to Dhaman. Prabhupada said, wherever we are, if you're engaging in service of Guru and Krishna, that is Vrindavan. You will fix purely in the Lord's service, purely, not for anything else. My followers, my devotees, my group, my Guru, all this is impurity. There's no purity in this. Purity in the Lord's service is, okay, whoever, he has to come to Krishna, he has to come to Prabhupada. That is purity. Right? I've seen many times, so much of, I mean, in the name of spirituality, there's impurity at various levels. This means that we are still on that platform of me and mine, right? Ignorant people think that he has gone crazy. Yeah, Nakul Prabhu.
Hare Krishna Prabhu. Actually, this pyara, then in a remote place like a swan, and before pyara, there was consciousness with a taste of distress. You are told I didn't get the proper one.
See, basically, we don't have. So basically, what Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur is saying is, I don't have taste for Krishna's names, Krishna's qualities, Krishna's pastimes. I am more engaging in useless pursuits of security and enjoyment. Like, I'm happy. I get attracted when there is vulgar discussion. I mean, like discussion which are nothing to do with Krishna. I prick up my ears and become wide awake. This is our material consciousness, attracted to material things, attracted to material objects, material relation, discussion about material topics. But we don't have the same curiosity, like here, curious spectator. We don't have the same curiosity to understand about Krishna. So then Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur is saying, oh, what a fallen state this is. What a fallen state this is. I should feel despair. I should feel miserable over this state. And I should have disgust. I should be disgustful. I should dislike my position. Somebody was asking me, saying that, what about self-respect, honor, like something to do with this. What is this called? Like, you don't feel disgustful about love yourself. Somebody said, shouldn't we love ourselves? I said, yeah, we should love the soul because he's part and parcel of Krishna. But not our material situation. How can I feel disgustful? It's such a negative thing. If we don't feel disgustful, we'll be happy with this. We'll be happy with this miserable situation that we are in. So we should feel disgustful about the material situation that we are in. And what we should do? We should start engaging in hearing Srimad Bhagavatam. And then constantly converse about it. Oh, I was discussing this. I was reading this. I couldn't understand this. Or I got this realization. This is such a beautiful statement Prabhupada has written. This is discussion. Is clear?
Yes.
Okay.
Pranam Prabhuji,
Yeah.
I have a question as well. Should I ask it now or later on?
Yeah, if it is related, you can ask.
Yeah, like you said, the interest for chanting and hearing should be more. It should be more than the other angas. Like we have 9
Yeah.
angas of
Yeah.
bhakti.
Yeah.
It should be more.
Yes.
And the second thing is, Prabhuji, is it possible that you have interest, you have like Ruci, but at the same time you are not able to execute your devotional service properly due to your situations or things like that?
No,
That may
no.
be Hriday Daurbalyam.
No, because Udaya Daurbalyam is all anartha stage. When somebody comes to the stage of Ruchi, there is no material impediment because we already overcome anartha nivritti. See, we should understand one thing. Prahlad Maharaj, just remember Prahlad Maharaj, right? Was he in a favorable situation to practice bhakti?
No, Prabhuji, no.
Yeah, that's all. That is the answer.
Mm.
So, see, externalities, that is why hearing and chanting doesn't depend on any externality. Who can stop us from chanting Hare Krishna in our own mind 24 hours?
No, that's
Who?
what I'm asking. If that is there, if there is an intense desire to hear and chant
No,
and
not
read,
intense
but
desire. I
you,
mean, I'm saying
Mhm.
you can do it. I'm saying you can chant Hare Krishna all the time,
Yes, yes.
right?
And
Now,
if there is
what?
interest, that, yes.
No, I'm answering your question,
Mhm.
Mataji. See, what are impediments? What external impediment can be there which will prevent me from chanting Hare Krishna all the time? Nobody can understand what is going on in my mind, right?
Yes, Prabhuji, yes.
So see, this thing about that is why this external. See, we should understand one thing, and everybody has challenges with respect to their situation. Some have more, some have less, right? But we cannot be waiting for material situations to iron out. I read it. I read this line 2 days back, 3 days back, right? Saying, why does a devotee, a surrendered devotee, why does he have to suffer material situations? Because Krishna wants to make the devotee humble and increase his longing for the Lord. Now, instead of doing that, if we are stuck up with our material situation, that means that we are not moving forward. How bad can our material situation be? Can it be worse than Prahlad Maharaj? And Prahlad Maharaj is coming
No.
to show us the path. We shouldn't hear Bhagavatam and say, oh, this is all for great souls. Yeah, what is great about Prahlad Maharaj? He simply followed what Narad Muni had said. That's all. Nothing else. What qualification? No qualification. Born in Asura family. Born in a family of full sense gratification. Everybody around him is sense gratification. Hardcore sense gratification. Demoniac sense gratification. Did he complain to to Narsimdev? Narsimdev, why couldn't you put me in a better situation? He wouldn't have been Prahlad Maharaj otherwise. Right, so we
Yes.
should just complete. We should stop looking at our material challenges. We should just start ignore. Actually, this one new thing I have started practicing. You can also try. Just saying that I am soul. I am spirit soul. I have nothing to do with material. This material situation. I have nothing to do with people around me. I have nothing to do with whether I have a favorable environment, not favorable environment. I'm a spirit soul. I'm beyond all these material boundaries. Every time your mind brings up this topic about, can my family be favorable, just answer this to yourself, saying that no, let it be unfavorable. What is the problem? The problem is because we are still little bit on the platform of externality, right? Meaning, I want to go, I want to meet devotees, I want to go be part of satsang, or we want to do all those other 7 angas, right? Which require being out there. Shravanam Kirtanam doesn't require. Shravanam Kirtanam is it can be just an individual practice, right? As in, I'm just doing my own hearing, I'm doing my own chanting, and I'm connected with the Lord. And then, of course, when there's opportunity, for example, being, however, I mean, this online is great, right? Previously, if people were cut off like that, then they would have been really in trouble, right? And today, so much of it's a boon online, right? You're sitting somewhere, we are all sitting somewhere else, right? And we are able to discuss topics about Krishna. What else is required? And you can do this 24 hours if people have the time.
Um, yes, Prabhuji, it is hard. Like, just give me some guidance. Like, we have to be strong because there is contamination all the time. Songs are playing on when you go in the car. You have to go to malls with them. There is
Yeah,
so much like
yeah.
material,
No, but
mm,
Mataji, I want to ask one thing. How
and
often
zero
does it happen?
association.
No,
Zero,
no,
zero
where
association.
zero association? Mataji, every day in the morning we are associating.
Yes, I'm doing my class now. I have to hear so much from my husband that what are you doing? Like,
No, that let him
kind of
speak.
things.
No,
It's,
let him.
yeah,
You see,
like
as in, see,
they are saying you are being brainwashed and things like that. It's been years I'm listening. That's fine with me now. But still, I want to progress. I feel, what should I do to progress? Like,
you're
it's
already making
hardly I
progress.
visit temple. I can't visit temple also. Matlab, things are difficult, but yes, I'll try.
No,
And
no, you're
Prabhuji, this
already
online
progressing.
association is fine. This online association is fine because I don't have any other association.
No, but this is
Like
the whole
they,
point. This is the whole point, right? See, hearing Krishna Katha, it doesn't matter whether it's face to face. For sincere devotees, I'm putting this very clearly, right? For sincere, serious devotees, it doesn't matter whether it is online or offline. Vani, Guru's Vani, what is it? Is it online, offline? It's always offline, right? Because it's not Vapu, meaning he's not present in front of us. So if we are concerned saying that Guru's Vani is not online, is not live, then I'll never get attached to Guru's Vani. Yeah, this is another thing I was telling somebody yesterday also, saying that don't depend on going to the temple. Yes, if all that is there, it's perfect, fortunate. But if it's not, Prabhupada is there all the time. Your Guru is there all the time. Our Acharyas are there all the time for us. Just drown yourself, Mataji, in Shravanam Kirtanam. You'll just become, you'll just develop a deaf ear towards all this. You'll just be, yeah, I mean, I can understand it's not easy, right? It's absolutely not easy. What you're facing with external situations, I can understand. But we don't want to come back again. That's all, isn't
yes,
it?
Prabhuji.
Yeah,
Yes,
that's all. So just
thank you.
this Madhurya Kadambini, has to just always be in front of us saying that this is where I want to reach. I want to reach this. We have still not talked about the bliss of devotional service. That is going to come next. And it's crazy, So just every time you feel, your determination goes down or you feel frustrated about your situation, just think about what you're doing. And yeah, I mean, whatever you are in today, Krishna wants you to be in that situation, isn't it? If we
Yes, Prabhuji.
understand
One
and accept,
realization. Yes.
if we understand and accept saying that Krishna wants me to be in this situation, why? Because he wants me to make me more humble. He wants me to develop more longing for the Lord. See, this is Gopi Bhakti. I told this multiple times. Gopis did not have open access to Krishna. Please understand this. In this mood of being caged, in a jail, the longing for Krishna is going to I mean, it will be uncomparable. You're thinking that there are so many devotees out there, oh, they are able to come to, but they will not have the same intensity as you have, as you can develop. It's yeah, while we look at it materially, it might look very difficult, but it's a boon to be able to practice bhakti in that, in the jailed condition. Longing for Krishna will just skyrocket. You will make progress which is uncomparable with other people who are in a better situation. And I'm telling this from my own experience.
Your blessings are needed, Prabhuji, for that. It's
No,
difficult for me, but
no. See, this we should again, Mataji. This I'm sorry to say, but see this. What are these blessings? Blessings we have already heard. Mercy of our acharyas, mercy of Guru, mercy of Srila Prabhupada is simply in trying to follow their instructions sincerely. I might fail a zillion times. It doesn't matter. I have to simply try to follow. Okay, he's saying that I should just not worry about my external situation and just engage in hearing. Okay, I will try. I'll fail, no problem. Krishna, give me mercy. Cry, chanting, you can keep crying all the time, every day. You can keep crying when you're chanting. Saying, give me longing. Don't ask Krishna, make my material situation favorable. Ask him, increase my longing. I should not be able to stay for a moment without your association, without hearing about you, without your nama. Mercy is there, Mataji. Mercy is there. I mean, I'm saying this is, we can definitely pray to, so that you can become more stronger in your situation. Everybody, all devotees can pray for other devotees. But mercy is there. Please understand. Mercy is there. Yeah.
Yes,
Hare Krishna
yes,
Prabhuji, can
Prabhuji.
I?
Yeah,
on
please,
situa-
Prabhu. Yeah,
well,
yeah.
on situation,
Yeah.
I just want to say, one couple was there, and they are very good. Her husband was a big officer in government, and he was totally, like mother is telling, he was totally not favorable. And she was very high standard. That look them, I went to their house, stayed like that. She kind of, but husband was totally, you can say, against the everything. I guess. And he got transferred from Bangalore to near, I think Vijayanagar or somewhere, kind of far actually. When my Guruma used to come, that poor lady used to travel early morning. She used to take a 4 o'clock bus and come meet in my. I had to arrange immediately before meeting her for half an hour, 15 minutes, 20 minutes, whatever she wants. And Guruma talked to her. I was standing, they were talking. And she goes back before he comes from back office, and like that way she was to go. Later situation, what happened? He got promotion and become bigger. He became a slightly, I can say, deputy commissioner or something like that. Wife got kind of in Maya, and he became a devotee. You see, he is the initiated no.
The wife went into Maya.
Wife went to Maya.
Oh, okay.
Wife kind of children. Now wife separated from husband almost. She is staying in America with children, and husband got a kind of he has helped us also in the temple and like that, a lot of things. But kind of he got initiated.
Okay.
So Krishna's mercy and kind of situation, I don't know how to handle the situation, but it's a tough, in material world, it's a tough to situation as she is telling. But we have to only pray, and that's all, kind of whatever best we have to be go on, that's all, kind of our sadhana has to go on that way, that's all.
Okay. Yeah. Thank you, Prabhu.
Dandvat Pranam, Prabhuji. Thank you so much.
What you will say this one, Prabhu? What you will say? I want actually my telling story was there. How you changing of situation? What you will say this one?
No, I see it's a very high level. We have to understand saying that what triggered that person to become a devotee, right? See, I can talk about that Mataji who got affected by Maya, right? Because I've not been able to understand much about that person, that Prabhu, how did that person come in touch with devotion and how did it happen? That aspect I didn't get. But from understanding from your perspective, right? So looks like the frustration. See, this is what I'm also telling, right? We should not be frustrated about our material life. Because see, this frustration about material life can become so intense that at some point of time we'll say, all this has no value. I mean, just forget it. Why do I have to struggle through all this? Right? I'm saying if we don't look at our life situation as mercy of Krishna, then we will become frustrated about material life. And if we become frustrated about material life, then we'll just say, forget it. I mean, why do I have to go through all this? That's why I keep saying that look at material life difficulties and see that it is Krishna is doing it. Krishna wants us to go through this. Then we can never get into frustration, and that excess frustration is giving up bhakti. right? Saying, anyway, I'm not getting happiness. And what is the happiness? She's able to do, I mean, that Mataji was able to do bhakti herself, but her expectation possibly was that saying that, oh yeah, my whole family should be with me, my husband should be favorable. And now, because of that, she herself lost bhakti. So this is this excess frustration about material situation. See, actually, Krishna will push us to such an extent that we will give up our need, our requirement that of material situation getting corrected, till we reach that state where we say, no, it doesn't matter. I am not asking at all, Krishna. I'm leaving it. Right? Till we just give up on that expectation, Krishna will push us. Right? But of course, and I don't know why that Mataji, she possibly went out of association. That is why this online association, also any form of association, wherein we are just these things, when we are alone, our mind, stupid mind, keeps beating us down. And when we are in the association of devotees, and here, like, Anukul Prabhu is saying, like, when we hear from experienced devotees telling us, saying that, no, it's okay, Krishna is there, and we feel, we feel protected, we feel safe, and we will also get maybe the courage to continue our struggle. And then Krishna will pull us out. And there's no doubt about that. There's no doubt about that.
Yes, Prabhuji. Thank you so much. And it is also because of our own bad karma, na, that we are having so many impediments.
No, it's not. Again, I'm answering. I see this. We've told this multiple times, right? See, our bad karma is only. See, it's a very simple process, right? When we come to bhakti, when we are initiated by a bona fide guru, when we are sincere, Diksha Kale Bhakta Kare Atma Samarpan, when we have surrendered ourselves to Guru's instructions, and way of bhakti life, then at that point of time, all our karma phala is destroyed. So for us, it might look like a continuity. So this is very important to understand. Like, for example, before Diksha, right? You will say that before my initiation also, Prabhu, my life was like this only. My husband was not cooperative, right? Whatever. And then I got initiated, and then it is continuing. Maybe it's even become worse, right? So in our vision, when we look at our situation, it looks like, okay, Diksha happened, but nothing changed. So then we assume, saying that, yeah, I had karma phala before, and it's continuing now, isn't it? Ruchira Mataji, is this?
Yes, Prabhuji, like things have changed, like my intensity or my faith has increased many folds. Like
Yeah, but material
after,
situation has not changed.
yeah, material situation
Yeah.
little bit changed. Earlier, it was very tough. I had to do reading also, like very secretly, and the way
Which
I
is
bought Bhagavatam, it was like in my son's tuition bag. Like I was not. They were
see, Gopi
blaspheming and
Bhakti.
things like that.
Gopi Bhakti, this
No,
is.
Prabhuji, no,
Yeah,
not
it
at
is
all.
Gopi Bhakti.
I to feel I'm so sinful. I'm in such a
See,
situation.
again, it's good to feel like this, but don't take it too seriously. Don't take your own statements too seriously. See, which is why I'm saying, when
No.
you get initiated, that time our karma phala is completely destroyed. Okay.
Prabhuji,
Now,
after initiation, sorry to
yeah,
interrupt, but after initiation, 1.5 year was so bad for my health. Like it was
yeah,
like very, very bad time after
yeah,
initiation.
yeah. Karmani
So
nirdhati.
much suffering. Yeah.
Karmani nirdhati. Everything has to get destroyed. The fan, you switched off the fan, it will run for some time, right? See, Krishna will bring in after that. For a serious devotee, we should understand Krishna will, it will look like our own karma phala. And if you go to an astrologer say, yeah, your time is very bad. Then say, yeah, see, karma, astrologer is also saying my situation is very bad. So Krishna will make it look like, yeah, everything is just normal, yeah, your material life, your karma phala. But we should understand this situation now, which is happening, is to just clear all the nonsense that is there in our mind, right? To just make us more humble, make us more desire, more increase our longing to Krishna. That's all. That's all. Just simply, we should just simply accept this. This is not my karma phala. Yeah, I don't want to feel that I'm great. It just happens with every devotee. We don't have to feel special, right? I've surrendered. Yes. Sincerity. Yes. I have the that is my only qualification. I keep telling. My only qualification is I'm sincere and I'm serious. Everything else is just mercy. Right? If I'm suffering, that's also mercy. Why? Because I'm sincere. So Krishna wants to take out all those obstacles that are between me and him. So that's why I'm saying celebrate your material situation. I'm saying I'm taking the other extreme. Celebrate your material situation, saying that it is allowing me to become more intense. It's allowing me to become more serious. It's allowing me to increase my longing for Krishna. See, bhakti is so beautiful actually. It takes away negativities in our life. We have to look at positive. What is positive? Krishna. When we just look at Krishna, then what negative can exist in a devotee's life? You can just turn towards Krishna's photo. If it is there, I can see my altar from here. And then just look into his eyes and his smiling face. And that's all over. That's all. What negativity is there? What misfortune is there? What difficulty is there? Anyway, this is my sincere belief and faith. Okay.
Yes, Prabhuji, that was very helpful. Thank you so much, sir. I'm sorry for taking everybody's time.
No, it's okay. It's okay. Everybody's helping everybody else here. Yeah. Yes, Mataji.
Hare Krishna, sorry, Prabhu. My obeisances to this Mataji. I'm going through an emotional phase right now. Please,
my obeisances.
My obeisances to you. I'm going through a very emotional phase right now. Please don't lose on to this time. It will never come back again. I am a victim of it. I had a pure devotee just with me for years, 10 years, 12 years. I was reacting to material situations. And now when I think back, I cannot get the time back. It was all favorable to me. Everything was favorable. Everything was at my doorstep. And I have lost on to it.
No, it's never lost. It's never lost. Nothing is lost.
I'm a proof of material situations, Mataji, hats off, really hats off. I wish I could be serious.
It is.
You all are very dedicated. Obeisances.
Nobody has lost.
Whatever questions you are raising,
lost time.
Prabhu, I still react to material situation.
It's
and
okay.
And one more thing, I wanted a clarification, Prabhu. You said, like, when you're, some people are apt at something. You said any sort of, some people are good at kitchen work, some good at kirtan. And we also like what is pleasing to our this thing. If we, you said you should do any sort of a job, but then it is always nice to do what you are good at, no, Prabhu?
No, nice for whom?
No, suppose I ask you to cook. It is not feasible.
I've been cooking for the last 8 days. I'll tell you, Mataji, I've never cooked in my life. I'm telling you. It's just the last 1.5 years we decided in our house saying that when my wife is off the altar, I'm going to cook. We didn't want to cook when she's off and then offer that to Krishna. So I said, I'm going to learn. No, my cooking is, I'm sure Krishna is austerity for Krishna to taste whatever I'm, offering. But I just decided saying that I want to do it. That's all. It doesn't matter. Now I've learned I can manage, a few things. Not that it'll be any great, but it definitely, yeah. So the point is that, am I going to go to the temple and say, okay, let me start cooking from tomorrow? No. Right? But if somebody says that we don't have cook, we want somebody to cut vegetables, will I say, no, I can't do this? This is the point I'm making. Right? Obviously, whatever Krishna has given us abilities, right? If I'm a preacher, I'm a preacher. If somebody is a kirtaniya, is a kirtaniya. Right? But we cannot run away from other. We should still have taste for other services, because everything is for the pleasure of Guru and Krishna.
Like for the classes, Prabhu, many a times when I don't understand on a particular this thing is very, I either, like I'm either drowsy or I'm not attentive. And if the speaker is to your liking, I'm just all due respect, everybody is, but if you're able to follow a certain speaker, you get hooked onto it.
Which is okay. Which is okay. Which is what I said. Which is the little bit of impurity that is there, and that impurity has to go off. For which it is okay to get attached to a particular type of speaker, as long as once we get purified, that attachment will be there, but then we will also become more broad-minded.
Yes, Prabhu.
Yeah.
Thank you, Prabhu.
Okay. Okay, I think we'll stop here. I don't know what is it. Is this the end of this chapter? Oh, okay. Let me just finish the last paragraph. The blissful devotional service performed by the expert devotees is like a dance. See, we read statements like this, and it just makes us like, oh, wow. I mean, it's like a dance, and I'm like here limping. The devotee begins to learn the lessons of the dance, taken by the hands of the dance instructress, Ruci. Who's the dance instructress? Ruci. He learns all, experiencing an extraordinary, unprecedented, unimaginable, golden bliss which cannot be described. Now, in what blissful realm will he come to exist when in time he is made to dance by the supreme masters of dance, Bhava and Prema? So can we understand this? Can we understand this so beautifully written? Right? So Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur is saying, when the supreme masters of dance, who are the supreme masters of dance? Bhava and Prema. Now, when Ruci only is a dance instructress and a devotee is experiencing bliss, what will happen when Bhava and Prema make us dance? Just imagine. No, because we have not experienced this, right? We have not experienced this. What? This extraordinary, unprecedented, unimaginable golden bliss. We might have experienced it a little bit here and there, right? But we should understand that this is Ruci. From bhakti, when we experience extraordinary, unprecedented, unimaginable, golden bliss, then there is Ruci in our life. Devotee begins to learn the lessons of the dance. So it's like a dance, coming to the state of bliss, unimaginable, unprecedented, golden bliss. And that's why I said, this is the beginning of what is, what is beyond our conception, what is beyond our imagination. Because we don't know all this. We don't know this. We have not experienced this. Unimaginable, unprecedented, extraordinary golden bliss. And this is just the beginning of the dance of devotional service. So welcome to the party. Somebody said like New Year. I said, yeah, ours is a New Year every day if we come to this mood. Okay. Okay. So I'll stop here. Thank you very much. Jagat Guru Srila Prabhupada ki jai vancha kalpatarubhishta kripa sindhubhyo cha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Dandavat Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna.